Good evening, everybody. No more question?
One more?
Oh, there. Has nobody never had a meditation, yeah? You never had a meditation? Never had. Wow.
Good. Gotta have a first time.
Okay. In that case, I explain you a little bit what is the meditation. There's many ways that people can explain, maybe in the internet. But in this way, we look in this way at the meditation. So maybe good. So few options you can think of. Meditation means familiarization. Okay, familiarization with what? Familiarization with myself. So that means you looking inward rather than exward. Yeah, outward. Rather than outward, you're looking inward and looking yourself. So usually you don't know what if we ask who are you, what you are. Oh, we can say, oh, I'm human beings, or whatever you say, but you cannot really pinpoint yourself. That's a big problem, universal problem. But still, people go with this. Even you cannot pinpoint yourself, still we just superficially, I am this and me this and I'm upset, I'm happy, blah 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 blah, and we just go whole life on this. But if you look inward, and then you get some feeling, what is really is me. That's one important. You need familiar with this. Another thing is familiarization with freedom, real freedom, not the external freedom. Not usually we say, oh, freedom, individual freedom, political freedom, blah, 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 all of them just external, not real freedom. So real freedom is we need free from repetitive, uncontrolling thoughts and emotions. If you're free from this, and that is the real freedom. If you have that, then it doesn't matter whatever external freedom, you don't care. So usually we try to achieve our freedom from externally is we not looking for sources, and we just go, how do you say, branches. We are lost in a branch, not in the root. We not find in the root the freedom. So that's why we can think that way. But that is so obvious. So who had many times meditated, these people know. But who never had a meditation, you try to single point to your mind 1 minute. Can you single point 1 minute without any thoughts? If you can't, that means usual is not just you. Everybody have no 1 minute's freedom. So that is scary. External freedoms just sometimes okay, sometimes not okay. But this 1 minute have no freedom is scary. That's why is meditation important. That's why is mind training important. Living a life peaceful or happy is a dependent wisdom. And wisdom dependent deep philosophy. Deep philosophy dependent on you have a stable mind. That's 1 minute have no freedom. This kind of mind, you never find freedom. You never find wisdom, so you can't find peaceful, happier life. So that's why meditation is important. But having said that, everybody, when we are doing the meditation, not everybody make huge progress very fast. Why? Because we have no patience. We have no wisdom to don't understand how the process need. So think about a child. How long need to just stand up and just make 1 step. And then how long you need to recognize the words and learn the words, language, and then learn the letters. Everything, the whole life we learn things. So we have a lot of patience for those things. We have no choice. But we don't have patience for meditation. We don't have patience for training mind. So that's the problem. But if you understood how important, and then slow steps, and then you will be mastery one day. So that's we have to know, the simple way. Okay, first, body is straight, spine is very straight, neck straight, chest open, deep, huge breathings, breathing in and out. You can follow me. Now, the mind completely single pointed in the present, dropped completely in the past memories, and what is concerned next. If you can't focus present, just follow your own normal natural breathing from the nostrils. Feel the sensation in the nostrils. If you feel you can't control your mind at all, your thoughts is everywhere. If you are a beginner, that is a good sign, because you realize how is reality. You think your mind is worse, but actually better. You made already one step progress, and continue. Okay, we're going to visualize it something. And close your eyes and sit in very straight, as same as before. And feel your whole skin. And is this the whole body skin? And everywhere you focus and thinking, is this me or mine? Every part of body you can think of, Is this me or mine? Only think that, nothing else. And try to feel. And then you, whatever you thought doesn't matter, you just think in all this skin, entirety my body's skin is, you conclude, is me, but is only one layer of the truth of me. The most superficial layer of the me. And thinking more deeper muscles and all the bodies, the names, I don't know, but you know, all of them try to feel it. Is this me or mine? Start. Okay, then, in conclusion, oh, this is another layer of me, only second layer of the truth. And then thinking and feel all the inside organs and all each, is this me or mine? And then, oh, this is another layer of me. And now, thinking everywhere, every single bone inside muscle, and which part is, every part is me or mine. Try to feel that. And then, oh, this is another layer of me, but is not the real truth of me. And now you search all the marrows, inside bone. Each of them is really you or yours. And then think about the same way. This is another layer of me, but not ultimate me. So think of all the brain cells, all the brain cells, everything is this me or mine. Okay, all the brain cells also my brain, not really me. So in superficial level, yes, this is me. Brain knows everything, but its brain is yours. So where is you? Where is me? Is energy, but energy also is yours. So where is you? My mind. Or mind is yours. My mind, your mind. It's not me. So where is me? Try to search the truth of me. Then you find nothing. You find only emptiness. Only emptiness. So stay in emptiness 1 minute without any thoughts. Start now. Slowly, slowly come out from the meditation, not fast, slowly. Okay, so now I have one question for you guys. If somebody say, point in yourself, who you are, where you are, every part of your body and everything, your voice, your mind, everything, if you point in, they say, this is yours, not you. So where else do you think you point to you? Anybody have any answer?
Other possibilities you're asking.
Yes.
Other possibilities for the self.
Yes.
If it's not your body.
Where you point in you?
What about bodhicitta?
Can you point in bodhicitta?
No, not really. No, I'd like to.
Is it your bodhicitta or you bodhicitta? Bodhicitta is intention, motivation. So we call it my motivation, my intention, we say, or me motivation, me intention. What do we say?
My intention.
Yes, that's mine, yours, not you. So where are you? What is you?
Everything.
Huh?
Everything.
Everything. Everything. Everything you. Nothing's yours.
Huh? Everything.
Nothing's others. Everything you. And some people say maybe spirit. Is it your spirit or you spirit? Again, same question. Very easy. Very easy. Same question. You can cover anywhere. So that means what is really the truth of you, me? What is the truth? You know? That's why I say layers of truth we can say, or we say, if I say, is this Shinar? Then people say yes. If I point at her body, say, is this Shinar? Shinar, yeah?
Jenny.
Ah,
Jenny. You're close.
Shini. Shinar.
It's okay. We'll
Okay. So, what? Yeah, whatever I say, holy. If you say, is this holy? People say yes. And that's why this is one layer of truth. And then you go further, another truth. But why we call one layer of truth? Because it's not really, but if you analyze, not really, but without analyzing, then okay. Right? So that's why. So all our problems, where they come from, where the root, because we can't pinpoint the truth, and we are dancing somewhere, have no base. Does that make any sense? Huh? That's why all problems start. But if we have really concrete truth as a base, it shouldn't have any problems. We have to understand, the superficial layer. We can understand truth doesn't mean no problem. The problem itself is the truth. You can say that way. But in the fun level, all problems, all suffering, everything is something with no truth. Something is not authentic. Start from there. Something's truth means no problem, no suffering, perfect. I mean, the ultimate truth. I'm not talking about the layers of truth. Okay, these layers of truth, you can be with the problem. You can be with a mess. You can be with confusion. Truth, but still confused. But the ultimate truth means must have no problem. Otherwise, what is the point to call truth? Okay? What is the point to call authentic? So the same thing, authentic also, it can have layers of the authentic. So today our topic is how to we live authentic life. But why we need learn how to live authentic life? Why is it important to live authentic life? Because something to do with happiness, if is more and more authentic. If you can be more and more authentic, that means the closer, more happiness. If we have more and more fake, and then we are far, far from the truths, so that's why we have more and more problems. And that's why in general we say it true or false. Okay, trust or trustworthy or not trustworthy. All of them we distinguish. Anything to do with the truth, authentic, trustworthy, all of them something same group, a good family. And the opposite, all of them is something bad family. So that's why we know a little bit, but at the same time we don't know. So that's why all our problems, many of them problem because we don't know how to live authentic life. Whole life we just acting and we just wearing mask and in many, many layers. So that's why is the problem start. So another way we can say how to live authentic, live authentic life means you can face to the truth, regardless what layer of the truth. You can face the truth. And not authentic means you have trouble to face the truth. So this, if we bring our small examples in our lives, let's say why we have to dress something when we go out, why we can't dress like when we are by ourselves. Why you can wear pajamas and go out? Huh? Even you like to, but you can't. You have to wear different. And the same thing, we have to make up. Why we cannot deal with our own face? Why we can't the face to how to say our own face to the show other people? You know, everybody, almost everybody, have to make up. Makeup means not just painting, but it's anything, any kind of dress or whatever, something makeup. Yeah. So that means I'm not saying, oh, you should wear makeup. You know, you should wear pajamas and go everywhere. I'm not saying that, but we have to analyze why we have to do that. Why we have to do that? Because we build this in the society. We get used to be fake. Everybody knows, but still they accept that fake. So everybody knows you not wearing the dress in the public. Everybody knows that you're not wearing that in the home. Huh? And also they know in the night time you wash your face makeup. Everybody knows. But at the same time, they don't accept that face in the public. Everybody doing this. Why? If they know that, why they do that? Can you tell me why? Any good answers? Huh?
I think we want delusion. We're addicted to it. We like the things.
Why? Because we can't face the truth. That means weakness. Right? It's some kind of showing a weakness. We can't face the truth, so we know it's fake, still we do that. We expect that. Everybody expect that. If don't, if your important job, if you wearing pajama and no makeup, everything, you turn up, you lose your job. Huh? They're kicking it out, Huh? So why? If this person, if not dressed and then you can't work very well, your brain different working, it's not that. But they care so much, everybody cares so much, this fakeness. Very much, just the bad habit. Where the bad habit come from? Because weakness of you can't face the truth. Not only this just make up, but then how we interact with people. If you thinking, already you tell everything you thinking, you really thinking what are you thinking, you telling people, or you make, again, dress up and make up and telling that. So sometimes you feel you have no choice. This is not really you like to do, but the society not accept. So you have no choice. You don't want to offend everybody. You don't want to make trouble all the time, and that's why you feel you have no choice. You do this. But many of people like to do that, and you don't even know you're doing that. You just so get used, and you just don't even aware. You just have a habit. You draw very well. You don't even know you draw, and you think in many other things at the same time. You just automatically your body, everything, you get used to, so it's quickly done. Without too much tension. So similar, we don't even aware you're doing these things. You just automatically doing. But the problem is, then our relationships, everything is become not authentic. You know? Because you're something you hide and you can't tell the truth. Something you hide and something you have to present. Present one is a fake and the high one is the truth. So that's why relationships and everything start incredible, wonderful, and then less. And then worse, and then cannot do it anymore. So why? The main reason definitely too much fake from the beginning. You don't tell all the stuff, no nice stuff, you just hide them. So that means you didn't have long vision. You couldn't face the truth. You just hide this all and then little bit nice things tell each other, show each other. So then slowly, of course, dig in all these problems. So that's the reason. So see now, we can't face in the truth. Problems slowly come. That's why people short time is okay. A long time you can't get along. Because there is a fake of you and authentic of you. So fake is not easy. So that's why you cannot, very long time, you cannot, even small things, okay? Oh, you have 2 days, you prefer you by yourself or you spend with somebody, or depend. Because some you don't want to spend time together, you want by yourself. Not just the person is nasty or anything, but you just want to live authentic by yourself. You seek out be fake, so that's why you avoid it. But if it's your friend, it's a little bit real friend and more close, maybe you better to live together. Spend 2 days because you don't have to be fake too much. So maybe easier. But think about when we so-called friends, is these friends, can you show all your problems? Everything inside out, all your problems, can you show them? Are you have confidence to show this person and this person accept all your problems and help us as much as I can? If that case is you can call friends. But usually friends, I saw many friends, people don't show any of these things. When they're happy, everything okay, that time is only spend time with friends. And when you have all problems, you cut. You don't want to see the friends. So that means it's not real friends. So, tonight we did something, search where we are, whose we are really. We couldn't find. So we couldn't find the ultimate truth of me. Who is really me, we couldn't find. Why we couldn't find? Because all this me and everything is not the ultimate me, not ultimate ourselves. That's why we couldn't find. But at the same time, We have a big habit, or we have very strong feeling, this is me. Huh? And this is mine. My husband, my wife, my children, my belongings, my everything. We have very strong. My enemy, everything. So, how we live authentic life? We cannot live 100% authentic life in this society. If you have to live 100% authentic life, then you have to go on a cap on our jungle. Huh? But we can live some authentic in this life. Sometimes we have some kind of no choice. No choice means we have to be fake a little bit, otherwise we have a big problems immediately. But you have to live as much as possible to be authentic. To be authentic means it's not saying you have to improve yourself and you have to be really good. It's not saying that. It's saying you have to show your limitations. You have to accept your limitations and you try to others accept your limitations. So whoever accepts your limitations, and then you consider real friends. Who is not accepting, not interested in your limitations, you forget about it, it's your friends. Because some people have many friends, same time still lonely. Some people have family, big family, and still are lonely. So why? Means you still not living authentic life. Most of the time, we are acting as like a dancing, how to call it? Acting. We acting with mask. So that's why, in that case, of course you're lonely. But someone have no friends, no family, nothing, still could be not lonely. Why? Because you have inner focus. You're looking inward. So at least you are familiar with yourself. Not like us, we can't find anywhere, us. Tonight we did more than how many people live? 1 million, 5 million people living now, right? How many percentage people look in that? Where is me? Why? Me is why? Is me or mine? Everything in body, inside out, my energy, my mind, everything. Maybe not even 1% doing that. But we just did it. We did it, but we didn't find it yet. But still we are ahead of everybody. So we just did it. We realized, we couldn't find. Why we couldn't find? Because there is not absolute of me there in this world. In this material, we cannot find absolute of me. So, you may wonder, what is absolute of me? So, that we named Buddha nature. But you can name God nature or whatever you like. The most perfect, you can use that. This is yourself. But you can't experience yet. So we have to live with this illusion of me. illusion with ourselves. And this bases on the illusion on ourselves, we make more fake, more artificial. So that's why all problems start. So what we have to do is we have to live authentic lives as much as possible, which means that doesn't mean, oh, you are so perfect, you're never angry. Yeah? People accept your qualities, but not accept your anger, your desire. All of them not accept your pride. But we have to accept ourselves first. Accept means, it doesn't mean no room improve. Huh? But we have to accept at the same time you can improve if you would like. But if you couldn't improve, still you accept yourself. And you try to others, you consider your friends, your family, your relative, whoever, try to let them accept. But sometimes maybe they accept. Sometimes you show your weakness and they show you too, because they feel comfortable. But we make everybody uncomfortable because everybody acting, everything perfect, never angry. Huh? We did that long time. But actually, if you accept and you know all limitations, there is more possibility to improve. But you always pretend it's not there, have less chance to improve. So that's why how we live authentic life. As much as you can. Is choices your lifestyle? Is choices your acceptances? Is also something to do with your flexibility of the mind, flexibility of the choices. Depend how rigid you are, how rigid we are, how one way we think must be this way, and how many possibilities we accept in and consider in the flexibility, how live the life. And sometimes you cannot live the life you exactly wanted. Then how much you understand, accepting. Oh, I thought I should live this life this way, but meant to be not. Seems like meant to be not. So okay, I accept, no problem. Must be meant to be. Meant to be not, so what is the point of fighting for nature? Fighting for the reality. Huh? So that means you can face in the reality rather than you are suffered from the reality. So we have to do this way. So what do you think? And maybe this is maybe more important discussion. So any thoughts, questions we should discuss? Welcome your thoughts, statement, question, everything. What do you think, everybody?
confronting, being more authentic.
Yes. That's why I said we can't do 100%. Nobody can't do 100%. If you came to do 100%, you have to go in the cave, a jungle, I said. Africa.
Be a little crazy person. Try to do it.
Yes. That's why ancient time, these tantric masters, when they say, oh, Shopala Pepsonre, which means like Telopa, and these ones, they are incredible, like the huge, big professors, like, they are incredible scholar, and, of course, very high hierarchy of this society. These ones, when their time, they have to live authentic life, because which is Tantrayana means we live authentic life. So they go somewhere anonymous, so they can do anything they want. They couldn't live the same society with this thought or this fame, can't live there. So that's why if we need 100%, either you have to go jungle or cave, or you can live as like a beggar. Because if beggar, whatever beggar do, people don't care. Not affecting other people's life much. Homeless, beggar, we have to live. But even that is difficult in the West, so-called developed countries, difficult. So better to live in India or somewhere, But as much as we can do. That helps us a lot. Anything else?
Why do we find truth so confronting?
Huh?
Why is it so confronting to us?
That is weakness. And you followed your weakness rather than you confronting your weakness and facing the truth. We're not choosing this. Instead, we follow weakness. What weakness say? That's why everybody make a fake. Even everybody knows it's fake. Still they're doing this. That's what I'm saying from the beginning. Everybody know the same time they're doing. Isn't it? So some brave people, they can break out this.
Courage is very important.
Yes, of course, that's why brave, courageous nature. You have to break them.
Fearlessness.
Yes. That's why. Courageous.
How do you develop those qualities? Is it all at once or gradual, or what do we just throw ourselves into the fire, or what do we do?
When you learn in letters, how you do? You by one. Small Bhadram, you learn how to ride bicycle, how to drive, everything. Everybody have to start from somewhere, and then you fail, and you try again. You fail, you try again. So same thing. Whatever we do, we have to try. If without you try, and you expect to never fail, and you not accepting you fail, then never happens. You have to brave. Okay, I will start. Okay, if you fail, I accept my failure. I try again. And or you learn from the failures.
I think people appreciate it too. When you are authentic, people actually see that you're authentic and they relate to that. They're like, wow,
Yes, sometimes yes. Some people don't understand. Some people don't understand, oh, this person is terrible,
People get very angry.
Yeah.
Especially if you're pointing out
Yeah, depend the person, how smart.
We like to think we can show the truth in other people without seeing the truth for ourselves.
Yeah,
No
that's
one likes to criticize and
That's
say,
easy.
"Oh, that's
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 easy.
wrong. That's
That's
wrong."
the easy part.
Yeah.
Habit, isn't it?
We have the habit of trying to show what's true in others, but not ourselves.
yeah. That's why we use they. We don't use we do this. Huh? Especially we don't use the first person. I do this. We don't use that. We prefer we, and then even we more prefer they do that. So the best thing is I do. Okay, one of the Dzogchen part of this Dzogchen Ngabjang. So what you do is when you practice this one, all day you yell, but you not yelling other people. You just yelling yourself. Whatever you think, you just say it. Everything you thought, you just say it out. And then also anything, remember all your own faults and secret, everything you say out. And so that's why at that time, I don't know how much you really authentic practicing. We don't know. But when that time, or this group, just they don't go.
Do you do it in front of people or by yourself?
That's why they usually go away on the mountain.
It's better if you do it in group.
But
Yeah, we do that, right? We go into a group and group therapy. I have this problem.
yeah, but I think I'm saying how authentic it means.
Yeah.
Most of them they go mountain, but also not go together, go everywhere, and they just yelling themselves. Huh?
Echoes.
But maybe some people go together and telling each other, but still you don't know they're 100% telling or not.
We have this in the monks.
Huh?
The Sojong also does that.
Oh,
The
that's
monks are supposed to tell each other.
nah.
what they did
That's
wrong.
just something in the text you already memorized. That's nothing. That's nothing. All my faults or whatever I'm done. I confuse this. Blah blah blah. That's anybody can say it.
It could be true.
That's nothing personal. There is personal things a monk is meant to be doing.
Meant to be doing it.
Yeah, but there's nobody doing now.
Even monks aren't being authentic.
No way. So nobody is 100% authentic, That's the problem.
But there are some of us who think we're authentic, but not everybody else can see that.
Yeah,
I'm saying people can be.
it can be, yeah. Who knows,
You see,
Who knows if there's one or two, if there is one or two in the world, if there's authentic, but we don't know. We don't know who is really authentic. But more likely not, because the society not accept. Yeah.
So how do we know if we're being
they might
authentic?
be deluded. Are you real?
So your own mind is not hidden anything for yourself. You know your own things.
You would know in here.
Yes.
Authentic.
Yeah. Do you doing any fake? That's easy to know. Yeah, I try to live authentic in my life. I try, but most of the time I offend other people. Sometimes some people appreciate. Yes.
My boss tomorrow. I find it very hard to say no to.
So, what else we do? How we train, do you think? How we start? Anybody have any good idea?
Honesty,
Honesty with yourself.
truth.
Yeah, first start ourselves.
Yeah.
You start yourself, be honest to yourself, and then accept. our own limitations. Huh? And you don't have to shame. You try to not shame. But if you shame, then you show the shame. Huh? Show the shame is you shame inside, but you don't outside. You don't show the shame. That's even worse. Huh? Say shame. I'm shame. You know. I think first, really start by yourself. And then you try to show whoever you close. Try to show them, be authentic, everything. But the problem difficult because people not get used to that. That's why very easily offended. They take the wrong way, not the right way. So that's why the Buddhist teacher relationship, teacher and student relationship is meant to be very authentic. So, but that's also traditionally, a little bit becomes, teacher should say anything, but the student accept anything teacher say. So I wonder this is maybe not 100% much in the reality. Yes, in general, yes, you are student, you are spiritual a student, and then your spiritual teacher, not just your math teacher, your carpenter teacher. It's not that. It's not something you learn from this technique. It's something to do with your enlightenment. So that's why important. Then yes, you should listen everything, but also you show your problems, your weaknesses. You shouldn't hide. If you not hide, then maybe you have more chance to improve. But people often hide. Everything hide. Spiritual, this fakeness also as much as bad as normal fakeness. Okay? So that's why in Buddhism, the worst line is we call Lama line. Lama line means spiritual line. Spiritually, you say, oh, I have spiritual powers. I see demons and I see angels. Oh, they're talking to me. They said this. They give me message, me this, da 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 da. All these things. Oh, I am Bodhisattva. I love all sentient beings. I want to liberate sentient beings. That's all I care. All the qualities you don't have it, but you try to have it. You try to show off you have these all qualities. This is the worst, the most heaviest negative karma line. Much worse than you just lie other things. Okay? So that's why when we say, Buddhist or the five precepts, no line means that actually this one telling this spiritual line. Not saying, oh, a little bit, or you hide something because if you tell the truth and then many big troubles start and that's how you lied. Not distance. Distance is like branch, like it's a tree. You lost only one leaf. You lost only one small branch. But the spiritual life means you cut the tree root and you lost the whole tree. So that's why spiritual lie is the worst, but still people don't aware of this and they're doing this all the time. So this preventing your spiritual progress Not only this life, but many, many lifetimes. That's why I cannot imagine, even a student, if they have limitations, they just be honest. So the monk's vows, I tell you, first, the high ordained monks, fully ordained high monks, full, that's of course a root, like the tree cut the root. But there's 13, the second heaviest. So these 13 of them, any of this happened, the antidote, I'm talking about only Patimokkha way, or not Bodhisattva way or Tantrayana way, only Patimokkha, the Vinaya way, is any of these 13 happens, you immediately have to tell, I happened this, I did wrong this. You immediately have to tell. Tell the monastery. You tell the assembly, not only one person. And then they have punished you many times. You have to go through many days. And then before you are higher position, but they move you a lower position, and then you servant them long time, and then finally the group assembly said accept, the sangha said accept your confession now. So then they have ceremony and do it, and then finally finish. So finish means that now you reconstructed, what do you call it?
Reconnected.
Restored.
Restored, yeah.
Restored your broken. This 4 is there's no restore. You break it and finish. But this 13, you can restart, do that much. But who doing this? Now, nobody. Everybody doing substitute. Substitute means you don't tell everybody, they're all together. Oh, I confess, together. Anything I did wrong, I confess, like this way, and just put inside, you rubbed inside. So nobody telling, oh, I did this wrong, blah, blah, blah. Okay? So the similar question, something you wrong, then you have to go behind the curtain to tell the priest. That's very easy. The priest is only one, but the other one, you have to tell the whole Sangha. Not one.
That's a good training for authenticity.
Yes.
But you can do that with your partner. You can do that with your family.
Yeah, better than zero. Must be better than much. Yeah. If somebody don't have Sangha, nobody cares, so you only can tell, whoever you like to tell and whoever cares.
He doesn't care.
He doesn't care, just has to listen.
Okay? Anything else?
How do you develop a strong mind, like in a pace when you're going through like a barrage of criticism and negative energy going into you? Like, how do you
How to? You have to think this. Me and others, which one bigger? Others are big. The whole universe is other. Me is only one single hill, one single grass. But normal people's mind, people care me or others. What people call generally, and normal ordinary people, they care me more than the whole universe. Is it true?
Yeah.
That's the mismatching. This big mismatching. You know. So I'm telling this the Tibetan. I'm making this record in Tibetan. I'm telling that. This is big mismatching. Like you know the whole universe is others, and all sentient beings want happiness as like yourself exactly. They don't want any suffer at all like yourself. You know that, but at the same time, you don't care any huge the others. Only me care. That's the root problem. This self-cherishing is start everything, makes everything hard. So you cannot imagine immediately you change in swap. You cannot do that because you have a long-term bad habit. Humans, we all. Huh? But what you have to do is at least you recognize this and have to make changes, focus. So the other problem I say, if you focus yourself, you cannot achieve anything. You cannot even achieve peace of mind. You cannot achieve even yourself is happy. No, never. So that's why if you change the focus, you achieve everything. Everything means, okay, so we call Buddha has Rangton Churka Jantan Zukka. Churka means the ultimate, before I said the ultimate yourself you reach. You reach ultimate yourself, not this illusionary ego. So that is for yourself. And then you have you able to manifest so many manifestations automatically to help sentient beings. So then this is called for others. Both of you achieve, how we start is only you recognize others more than important than yourself. But even you cannot start from that, but start from try to think is others is more important, but you try equal. You try equal. You start from try equal. When you try equal means it's not saying you all day go try help everybody and exhaust yourself. It's not saying that. It's in the mind, your intention and attitude tends you develop, how can I help? I wish help all sentient beings. This you make a habit. And then whenever you have chance, opportunity, as much as you can do things, then do it. But you only do a limit. That's okay. We have physical limitation, we have energy, everything is limitation, we have resources, everything is limited. So you do only limit way, but you think in limit way. So this is the only answer, no other answer. Any other answer, any answers is just temporarily and some more questions answers. The whole root answer is this. All problems come from self-cherishing. How much you self-centered focus is more problem. That's true. But if you say a small question answers, you pray this and you do this visualization, this, need the prayer for yourself, do this protection, all these things. There's many things you can say. But only scratchings, small temporarily, maybe help, maybe nothing. So training our own mind is everything. Training our own mind is everything. But usually we seeking something else or externally, something big, something powerful. But actually, the most powerful, we possess it, our own mind. We just have to train that. Okay? Any more?
Sure. I was thinking about I was going to ask, how do we accept our limitations and still want to keep trying? Because it's so tempting to sugarcoat it that we did okay, like maybe better than what we did, so that we keep trying.
To encourage yourself.
Yeah, to encourage ourselves. So yeah,
How do you?
myself truthfully if I'm learning something new perhaps and not doing it as well as I'd hope, but I want to keep trying. But
How to keep yourself motivated.
Yes.
You're constantly
Yeah.
facing the truth of it.
yeah.
Because it's not always inspiring. It's sometimes very hard.
Yeah.
Because because how much hard, how degrees of hard is dependent how you accept it. That's one reason. If you're not accepting, let's say if you and me have some situation, same problem, but if your acceptance degree is high, my acceptance is degrees lower, I have more suffer and you have less suffer. That's we have to know. Accepting, very important. Then you can also you don't have fixation, because often we not accepting things. We want really something, we don't want something, we are fixed on that. But then you couldn't do this, and then you are upset and you have problems, suffer. But if you're not fixed on that, it's okay, doesn't matter. I go this way. I go this way. Doesn't matter. Meant to be not happened. Okay, doesn't matter. Maybe meant to be not happened. Is meant to be not happen better, maybe. You thought it's worse, but it could be better. So your mind have to be flexible. Because it will like that. Always. Sometimes we really want to be really obsessed on. But later on we realize, we are silly. Later on we realize, wasn't have to be obsessed. It wasn't important anymore. We realize later on. And sometimes, that's not happened. That's good. That turns better. All these things happen. But the problem, people's mind is no flexibility. And obsessed on that. And not accepting all the challenges and problems. I mean, sometimes problems even not even a problem, but we see as a problem. Sometimes this is good guidance, but we see as a problem.
Okay. Like for example, I could be learning what not to do.
Yeah.
Didn't do so.
Yeah. And then that's why you don't have to try all the time. All the time is not only the try again option, is not always that.
Okay.
So you don't even try. You change your direction. You follow the nature. Whatever naturally coming. Not the currents. You try to swim the currents of the river.
We have this culture of seeing criticisms and bad things as like just avoid, don't look at them, it's like bad.
Yeah.
So it takes time to start seeing criticisms as good.
Yeah.
So we have to be patient with ourselves.
Yeah.
on that.
Somebody criticism, then we think, thank you, that's good, because
Now I learned something.
yeah, because other people seeing us things is we don't usually see ourselves. So that's why, pointing me out. But if usually people we angry, I'm not like that. You telling me I'm that bad, I'm not bad. If you're not bad, then you don't have to angry. That's perfect for you. That's their problem, not your problem. But if yes, then they show you something. So you are aware next time. So I have this problem, so I have to find antidote or whatever. You had the chance. So that's why criticism not always bad.
So finding the value in these criticisms and finding the value in all of the,
Yes.
the
Yes.
failures and different things.
Yeah, that's one thing. Also, when you have no problems, but people see you have big problems and they criticize and you're angry with you, that means, oh my God, this person usually be angry, but you can have compassion this person, because this person has no good perception and see illusion of you, and and then he suffer from that. He suffer from this. So then you should have compassion, not angry. So, yeah. But usually if we have small-minded, then we are angry. Oh, I'm not like that. That is you, not me. Huh? Okay. So, dedication.
May the merit of this practice connect with the merit of all enlightened beings and lead to universal benefit and well-being. May all beings, including myself, be free from the extremes of eternalism and nihilism. May all beings, including myself, be free from the extremes of sensory indulgence, ego craving, and extreme asceticism. May I be freed from craving, attachment, and fixation. May I discover the wealth of inner contentment. May disciplined ethical conduct be born within me and develop further without decreasing. May great concentration be born within me and develop further without decreasing. May supreme compassion be born within me and develop further without decreasing. May the divine truth of enlightenment be born within me and develop further without decreasing. May the precious Dharma be respected and remain in this world, the supreme cure for suffering and source of all happiness. May the authentic Dharma holders have long life and flourish throughout the universe. May all practitioners and Dharma supporters continue to be generous, attain great prosperity, and fulfill all their wishes. In the land encircled by snow mountains, you are the source of all happiness and joy. Your Holiness the Dalai Lama, may your life be long, and may your visions of world peace be accomplished.
Okay.
Thank you.
Thank you, everybody.